Hello there, my beautiful souls. As you can see on the board, we're beginning the specific daily reading with two major oracles, if I could get that straight, being grounding and healing. And so I'm getting right off the bat that, regardless of whether you've had just a lot going on, a lot on your plate, or you've just been dealing with a lot of ups and downs and maybe bad energy, it's now time for each of us to reground and heal in multiple ways, right? And so it becomes a period where some of you, this is talking about the full moon period, which is the following day after I record this reading, being the 6th of October. And so the full moon is basically going to be a time of heightened emotions. You will notice this within yourself and other people, but I'm feeling like maybe more so when it comes to others within your life. Regardless of whether you are just observing them, associating yourself with them, working with them, living with them, other people are needing to sort through their emotional state where it'll help, the energy where you're living. It will help the energy where you're working. It maybe even will help you learn and gain something important in regards to your emotional state for moving forward. But you may find honestly the energy is a little squirmy, and I feel that being, applicable for your energy as well, because this collective is affected by energy for the better and or for the worse. And so as I feel certain people in your midst are going through it a little bit and, again, as well dealing with these kind of energies, necessarily, bad wording, it's just necessary. The point is, you will find that over the next week or so, people's energies that seem to want to pop up or stay along your path start to correct, all right, or be corrected rather. And so, as people's energies start to improve and be corrected, maybe on multiple levels for some, you start to feel an ease coming to be. And so, I need you to remember this as the full moon period or just this day, maybe even surrounding it for you individually feels a little bit heavy. And there's something about spirit saying, even surrounding a full moon energy period typically can bring out sort of weird energy in people. The um, kind of full moon stereotypical phrase of, the crazies come out. And so that is kind of going to be shown to you at certain points. But I'm feeling like you're coming off like this sun card here, where it's not that you are lacking full happiness for whatever reason, but you're appearing to be radiating with a bit of a mood or a bit of an unhealed kind of energy once again. And so asking yourself some important questions in order to maybe remember how you heal best, how you create happiness within yourself best, even outside of you, and what do you know works best for you to reground? Is it meditating? Is it, we've mentioned this before in readings, working out, going for a walk, healthy release as far as writing, creating art, singing, you name it. But Spirit's viewing you as a delicate flower. I don't know why that's coming through. It feels like you think about a delicate flower, it could easily be weathered by a storm, but with a little bit of sunshine and TLC, a bit of, positive attention and certain strategies implemented, that flower, that plant will grow and blossom and thrive. And so we're needing this collective to focus on using this energy period, these energies on the board to get to a point of thriving, towards growth and again, blossoming. Let's pull a couple of these Mermaid Tarot. Sorry, I worked a 10-hour shift from 7 p.m. to about 5 a.m. It just wasn't that enjoyable. So that is partially where my healing is coming into play. But what else do we have for my beautiful souls? Let's do it on camera. You will be feeling a bit spacey, and I feel like that's a bit of a coming and going kind of an energy continuing from the previous day or two. And as we feel a bit sort of out of it at certain points, they're saying, who's expecting you to be completely with it, right? And if you're part of that expectation where you think you should be completely with it and, on it 24/7, we're going to cut that out, okay? Because that's not realistic and that's not going to help you at this point in moving forward. But um, it's interesting because as much as we were talking about the energy negatively affecting us and all that we have on our plate or have been dealing with otherwise, it's this period where the Seven of Wands in reverse is communicating there's a lot less that you have to deal with. Maybe you'll create this and that you feel you should accomplish and tend to and just maybe adjust and associate yourself with. But as there's a lot less for you to dodge, to protect yourself from, to have to fulfill or deal with once again, it gives you this prime chance, or chances rather, to ground yourself. And you may feel like there's sort of an uprooting kind of energy surrounding you, regardless of who and what that's pertaining to the point where it's like it uproots to an extent to reground, to reroot properly. So the energy no longer gets in the way. So the energy no longer ruins certain days or certain weeks for you individually. But what else do we have? The Queen of Cups over here, because you are somebody who feels fulfills when you help people, and that might be part of how you're going to heal at this period. But then think about it, especially if you're trying to heal other people or help others with energy work, kind of like this or otherwise, that's going to, leave you needing to heal a bit more otherwise, right? But the Knight of Wands in the center of our reading says, my friend, you are being viewed at and labeled and even feeling like a bit of a wounded warrior, somebody who just, yeah, it needs to go through sort of a process of taking this Nine of Wands. And even if it takes more than one day moving forward after this, I guarantee it will be continued for the majority. It's about churning this in the reversal to the point where you no longer feel burdened, okay? Because when I tell you that this collective, and a lot of you show up to my daily reads quite often, and I appreciate it because I see the support through the likes, and it makes me so damn proud and happy. But the point is, this collective has such good energy. You're a good person. You're a caring individual, once again, who deals with too much. And so we each, again, need to just buckle down and do what's going to be best for us. While I feel, on a random note, I'm getting you're doing better with your money. Whether it's you've been spending too much or you just weren't managing it otherwise to the best of your ability, but you're going to see numbers to your advantage like 20, 50, the individual number 3, and I'm hearing 111. But as well, I need you to remember with the number 444 coming through, you're good. You're protected. Things aren't going to be perfect moving forward. And I'm not even going to begin to hint or guarantee that for you because that's not realistic. That's not life. And that's not I feel, the spiritual path that you walk. But trust in how you are feeling at this time because I wouldn't be surprised if certain feelings to be labeled as random or questioned even. If I didn't say it already, from the recent past are now being proven more than ever correct. Just because you felt one way about somebody and now they seem to show up differently, maybe they learned from, something due to how you were intuitively feeling and whatnot. It doesn't mean that you were feeling things inaccurately, right? And so it's another period where we're reminded to not only trust the spiritual path that we're walking, but to trust our intuition more than ever, because that's going to lead you in the right direction, whether it's dodging this and that, avoiding this and that, associating yourself with this and that otherwise. But I kind of want to leave our reading at that. I hope it was truly helpful. Just take a deep breath because this period is going to help you get to where you individually need to be energetically. All right? Do take care.